Hello from Suntech. Today I'll show you how to revise charges. So the first thing we'll do is go to Ocean Import, House BL, select this entry here, edit, and then when we go to the Billings tab, we can see this invoice area. So let's go ahead and issue a new invoice. And we can go ahead and put, let's say, a freight charge, and let's call it $500 at a quantity of 1 and confirm. So now we have this charge here for 500. Let's click edit. And now we can see that we have 3 different options to revise it. So the first one we'll try is amending. Let's click that. Let's say I don't want 500, but actually it should have been 550. You simply do that. And now it's saved as 550. But let's go ahead and make the system think I'm sending this out. We'll send it. Now, when we click edit, it'll ask if I want to revise the invoice. The system detects that I had sent this out to someone already. So instead of just the last process where I just clicked amend and change the number, it wants to ask me this now. So I'll click yes. And let's say now it's got to be 600. We'll amend. And one thing to note now is let's look at this $600 charge here. You'll notice the invoice now has an R1 attached to the end. That means revision 1. That means you had already sent an invoice out to the customer, and now you've revised it after the fact. So then when you send this one and they get this one, they can see that it is a revision. Now let me show you what it looks like when we print. You can see in the top right it says revised. And you can see, you can go to the next page and it'll show a voided invoice, which is the old one, the original one, which is INV 1925, and then the revised one, INV 1925 R1. But let's say you don't want to send both of these pages because it may be confusing to your client. So what you can do is edit, and then uncheck attach previous invoice. You amend, then click attach previous invoice. You uncheck that and confirm. Now, if you were to click print, you can see it would just be this revised version, and that's it. You would not have the voided invoice from before the revision. Now, let's say instead of doing a revision, let's say you want to make it more apparent that you're changing something, you can issue a credit. So let's say we have a charge of 600 still, but now let's add a credit of 200. We can confirm that. And now you can see it added a new charge here. So let's look at that. And now you can see it sends a completely separate invoice that's just showing the credit. So it becomes very apparent that you are giving the credit rather than just revising, let's say, the 600 down to a 400. It shows the $200 credit. So let's create a new invoice once again. We can add another freight charge. This time we'll do it for 800 at a quantity of 1, confirm. Now we see this 800 charge down here. Let's click edit. And the final type of revision we can do is a void. So void essentially acts as a deletion, except we're not actually deleting anything because we want to keep the record of the charge. So I'll show you what that means. Let's void it. So now you see we still have this 800 charge, but now we have a negative $800 charge to balance it out. So if we go ahead and print, we can see invoice 1926, V for void. So we can, and we have the title up here, void invoice. So it's just showing that the previous charge of 800 right here was voided.